Nate, what do you remember about that conversation where Serena said, "Hey, I know you're stressed about money. When can you start paying me back?"
That's pretty much how it was phrased in my recollection, which obviously is uh, debatable on my end. When my response is, "Well, I don't know because of all these financial factors, and I'm very, constantly on the cusp of paying off credit cards every month and rent, and I'm not going to know until I get paid exactly how everything's going to balance out." I feel like that's sort of unacceptable as a response, and it ends up sort of becoming the case that sort of needs an answer. When am I going to pay her back, and how much exactly when? Which uh, fits with her personality as a someone who plans a lot, but um, it can lead to arguments and things like that.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Alpha Platform. Do not forget to like, subscribe to the channel. Um, Today, y'all gonna be upset. Y'all gonna be mad. Y'all gonna call me a misogynist. Y'all gonna say I hate women. But I've been seeing a plethora of videos being made by gay and bisexual, specifically black men, talking about how they're no longer gay, they're no longer homosexual, talking about the spirit of homosexuality, all this mushmouth stuff about being gay, just the gay quote unquote lifestyle. So I just wanted to address that really quickly. But in these clips I'm about to show y'all gonna see just how dysfunctional things are with heterosexual relationships because of women's expectations. These clips were so triggering to me because they brought me back to my own childhood, where you're dealing with people, human beings, women, who feel like your sole existence as a man is to make their lives easier. As we watch these clips, I want y'all to notice how these women, they resent their male partners for not making as much money as them. They resent their male partners for trying to work and build a business or build something else outside of a 9 to 5. And they feel like their money is their money, but his money is both of their money. So it's like, go ahead, like for all the gay and bisexual men out there, y'all talking about how y'all want to go out and have money, or excuse me, have babies with women, but still be in a gay or bisexual relationship. Y'all talking about how y'all done with homosexuality, quote unquote, and now y'all finna start dating women. Go ahead, because y'all gonna find out the hard way. There is a reason why so many straight men do not date anymore. They are not dating, they're not having sex, they're not doing anything with the opposite sex anymore. It's because things have become unbearable with women and their expectations. I'm a person, I have no problem with women in the workforce. As long as you're not, messy and keeping up drama and stuff, I have no problem with women in the workforce. However, if you're competing with men in the workforce to earn a living, you have to understand that there will be instances and more instances where you're going to make more money than your male counterpart because you are competing with that man for financial resources. And not only that, you expect equal access to those financial resources. So how can you demand that all men, that you want to be interested in, make more money than you? Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. There are moments in my life where, my husband and I were thinking about having a family. I think about how easy it would be to find a woman off the street, maybe a lesbian, whatever, off the street and say, hey, there's going to be no type of physical intercourse, but, can you be our surrogate? We'll do it another way. But I always stop short because I know the nature of a woman, because I grew up with a single mom. I know how they think, how they operate. They are ruled by their feelings. They are ruled by their need to be happy. Their happiness is what matters to them. So let's say my husband and I become a physician. He becomes an engineer. We decide to find a woman off the street. Hey, a lesbian off the street. Hey, you want to be the mother of our child. Give us some kids, blah, blah, blah. In our minds as men, we think that's a fair deal. But I can guarantee you this. They may initially agree with the deal, but as soon as the baby comes, bro, we're getting put on child support. You know, we're not going to see the kid or kids. Everything that we're working towards with that woman is going to go right down the drain as soon as the child comes. And she realizes, oh, wait a minute, this is the bag for me. You know, this is a come up for me. This is a lick for me. And I can't even blame women because this is their nature. But it's like, I'm tired of seeing gay dudes hop online talking about how they're no longer gay. They're not participating in the LGBT plus lifestyle, blaming gays for the reason why their life is not going the way they expected. And that's just life for you, bro. Like, life does not go the way you expect it to go. So if you're hanging out at the club doing F shit, if you're hooking up, if you're doing all the wrong things, why do you expect to have peace in your romantic relationships? That's not how life works. Whatever you give, you're gonna receive. So if you're giving out chaos, you're gonna receive chaos. That's just how life goes. You know, I hate to say it this way, but that's how life goes. So again, I'm not coming down hard on women. Oh, you know, man, like this shea butter, on a side note, this raw shea butter that I've been using, and like I showed you guys my hair routine, it's really growing out my hair. It's preventing breakage. It's making detangling easier. It's making wash days easier, and it's working because, you know, the wolf got curtains now. Like people be like, is this 4C hair? Yes, bro, this is 4C hair. And you know, I don't be doing no manipulation, no twirling of my curls. I just straight up, this is the wash and go. Straight up, you know, got out the shower, wash my hair, whatever, and just put shea butter in my hair and just left it alone. No blow drying, no nothing. So I'm happy with the results. If you have not seen my hair care routine, you can check it out, you know, in one of my videos. It's there for y'all, and I'll bring you guys some more in the future. But yeah, man, straight men got it bad. And I always tell y'all need to be appreciative of being gay. Y'all need to be appreciative because y'all are not dealing with the opposite sex and their unrealistic expectations of you. Do y'all know that taking care of a woman and multiple children is like a jail sentence in these days for a man because inflation is so high? But that's what y'all want. Y'all want to be like straight men. Y'all want to be straight men so bad, and y'all don't know what y'all asking for. It's a jail sentence, a prison. Can you imagine? You at home right now, can you imagine taking care of 4 people for the rest of your life on one income, the income that you're making? Imagine that. You would be sick too. You would be doing some SHIT too on the news. Like, you would be on the news too. And it's like, I'm not trying to side with these men, but I understand their stress and their pressure because they want a way out, and they have no way out because the minute they decide to leave or try to like be single and do their own thing, they're losing all their financial resources or half of it to somebody who did not work for it. They're losing access to their children because the court system is going to give them access to the children. And if you decide to have children with a woman, a lesbian, whoever it is, as a gay person, as a bisexual person, best believe you losing that court case. You losing it unless that woman's on drugs, she's doing something really bad. It's a lost cause for you, bro. And you and your dude, you or your boyfriend, husband, whatever, y'all are going to end up paying child support to somebody that y'all not even with, don't even want, for the next 18 plus years. Because if they go to college, you on the hook for that too. Let these clips roll, man. It's like, I feel bad. I feel bad for straight men. I don't envy y'all, and I'm always telling y'all this, but I want y'all to learn from this stuff, and I want y'all to be grateful for being who you are, because for decades we were told we were nothing. We were outcasts. We were the bottom of the barrel, and now we looking up in 2024, and things are looking up for us as LGBT plus people. Life is getting easier. It's getting better, and you know, lo and behold, we have a better slice of the pie than they have right now. That's why they don't want to vote for Kamala. That's why they support Trump so much, is because they want to go back to a time when they were at the top of the ladder and gays weren't getting anything, women weren't getting anything. They thirsty for it, bro. So I'm gonna let these clips roll, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Wolf is back, Wolf Pack. Peace.
20s, she felt poor living in New York City. She's only recently gotten a higher paying job. She now makes about $80,000 a year. And she has some very strong opinions on how money should be spent in their relationship. Nate makes $45,000 a year. He's a resident, but in a couple of years, he's going to be a doctor. And at that point, his salary will increase dramatically.
And I are currently planning a trip, or we've done most of the planning, but we're going on a trip next month to see my family in Asia for the first time ever, not just since the pandemic. I've been many times, but he has not. So this is a really big deal for me. And pretty much from the beginning, Nate said, I cannot afford this trip. We're really going to have to wave a magic wand in order for this to happen. So I ended up fronting a lot of the cost. And so
How much?
now I lent Nate about $3,000
Okay.
in order to cover his portion. And I was happy to do it. I think I didn't anticipate the stress it would cause me to have him in debt, which I know sounds kind of weird, but I'm not the kind of person that likes to have loose ends, kind of just like unaccounted for. So I think having that sort of question mark has sort of caused me to be a little more nervous than I usually am about money. And I like specifically to answer your question in the last month, I would say like the cadence of like, so when are we going to start paying this off is starting to sort of, I think, cause some issues.
Let me just say this real quick. As someone who's been with their partner for about 7 to 8 years, like this couple has, you don't loan your partner money. You gift it to them. You gift it to them. And your responsibility as someone in a long-term relationship or a marriage is to support your spouse. So for example, this woman is making 80K. Meanwhile, her spouse is making 40 something thousand. In what world do you expect this person to pay you back? And then you have the nerve to like go up to him and ask him repeatedly when he's going to pay you back and how much. It's like it's too much. It's too much differentiation. It's too much. This is my money. You need to have your own money. But I guarantee you, once this man becomes an attending physician, her whole attitude will change. His money is going to become her money. She's not going to be expected to pay anything back to him. She's not going to bother him about, hey, I took this money from your account. I need to pay it back. Let me just go ahead and pay it back now. It's going to be none of that. It's going to be none of that. Let's go on.
Have you said that out loud, or is that just in your head?
Oh, no, we've talked about it. It doesn't always go well.
So who brought it up?
Me. It was probably something along the lines of, I know, you're stressed about money as we usually are, and that's okay. But it would really help me to have an idea of when and how much we can start paying this back little by little.
Nate, what do you remember about that conversation where Serena said, hey, I know you're stressed about money. When can you start paying me back?
That's pretty much how it was phrased in my recollection, which obviously is debatable on my end when my response is, well, I don't know because of all these financial factors, and I'm very, constantly on the cusp of paying off credit cards every month and rent, and I'm not going to know until I get paid exactly how everything's going to balance out. I feel like that's sort of unacceptable as a response, and it ends up sort of becoming the case that sort of needs an answer. When am I going to pay her back, and how much exactly when? Which uh, fits with her personality as a someone who plans a lot, but it can lead to arguments and things like that. Absolutely.
What did it feel like to you when she asks you that question?
Well, if it was once a month, I think it wouldn't bother me very much at all. It's far more than once a month.
How much?
At least weekly, uh, if not more. And
Yeah, I feel like
it's
weekly is about right.
yeah.
And at what time of the day would this come up? Like, are you brushing your
Probably
teeth or
within
what?
minutes of him coming home.
So you mean to tell me this man, as a resident physician, he's working on call. He's probably working 13 to 14-hour days. And just look at him in his interview. He looks miserable and over it. You mean to tell me you greeting this man at the door asking for your money back? I don't know why and how y'all put up with this, but that is not the purpose of having a life partner. A spouse is there to support you when you are down. That's what you do as a spouse. If you have anyone around you and you consider them your spouse and they are not treating you that way, they're treating you like, hey, a roommate, or like, hey, you need to pay me back for X, Y, and Z. That is not a good person that you need to be with. That is not your person, period.
Yeah, I'm like, "Hey, how's your day? Like, nice to see you." Our dog will greet him by licking his face for like 30 seconds straight,
10
um,
minutes.
for a long time, and then I'll just kind of bring it up like, "Hi, like, there's something I kind of want to talk about, if that's okay. I know you still like owe me some cash for our trip, and can we talk about paying me back?"
Usually I respond by saying, I need a moment.
Yeah.
Please give me a moment, because
Mhm.
I just it takes me a long time to switch gears after I'm coming home from work, which is my own personality and just being tired all the time. So really after that, I sort of default again to, because this is something that probably came up less than a week ago, I sort of default back to, well, the answer hasn't changed in the past 6 or 7 days. I still need to sort of wait until my paycheck comes in and I know what my credit card bill is going to be. And I'm not completely in control exactly what that credit card bill is, because I need to pay for gas and do all these things. And so there are these factors that do change from week to week.
All right, so I'm not going to play the full clip because it's over an hour long, but essentially we find out that Serena has Nate paying half of the rent, although she makes double or two times what he makes as a resident physician. And I just, once again, once this man becomes an attending physician, he's going to make $300,000, $400,000 a year. She's going to expect her lifestyle to be enhanced dramatically. She's not going to be paying him back for anything. She's going to expect equal and unfiltered access to his financial resources. But you see, as a man, when you are working to build something, it is extremely difficult to find a partner that is willing to support you, even though you're going to it's going to benefit both of you. It's extremely difficult to find someone that will hang in with you during the rough times and support you during the rough times. People don't do that anymore. All they're looking for is someone to fund their individual lifestyle. They don't care about helping you get to the place you need to be. Matter of fact, you better already be where you need to be before they get with you, because they're not really trying to entertain you. And if they do entertain you, they treat you like sugar, honey, iced tea because you don't have the money that they have. That's how women work. People be getting in my comments talking about, oh, it's not about money, blah, blah, blah. When it's two men together, it's not about money. When it's a man and a woman together, it's all about money. That's why money is the main reason for divorce in heterosexual relationships, because a woman cannot take a man earning less than she does, and she cannot deal with the man struggling for years and years before he makes it big. She can't deal with that, so she treats him like crap. She treats him like a child. She disrespects him. She doesn't. It's just a hot mess. Let's go on to the next clip. Before we go on, I just want to highlight this important point. So other races of men have historically used the argument that, hey, black men don't take care of their families, black men don't take care of their children, black men be having babies outside of wedlock, black men, black men, black men. And now they're starting to see why so many black men have not stayed around to raise their children. It's not because they did not want to, it's because they were not welcome. They were pushed out of the household because you have a woman that needs to be happy, that needs you to be perfect financially at all times for her to respect you. And sometimes you can be a protector and a provider, and she still won't respect you. So you have the government stepping in saying, you know what, a woman, like, we will pay you to have chaos and turmoil with your man. We will pay you to get that man out the house. And she's like, well, might as well get him out. I get my freedom. I get to run the streets, and I get my bills paid, and I get child support. So what incentive do they have to work it out with a man? It's like, this is why I'm so much against gay men associating with DL men. And like, I don't have a problem with bisexual men, but what I do have a problem with is, like, I have a question about it is, like, as a bisexual man, why do y'all choose to put up with this when you can have an easier, loving, more fulfilling life with another man? Why? Why? Okay, second clip. Let's roll it this time for real.
Read me the combined monthly income.
18,600.
Partner one, I'm assuming that's you, Annie, earns 15,600 per month. And partner two, I assume that's you, Emery, earns 3,000 per month. Let's just look at the rest of your numbers. Fixed costs at 58%. What? I have no comments if you're at 58%. You're within parameters. Let's just quickly look through this. Savings are at 4%. Long-term emergency fund at $500. How come you only have $2,500 in your savings? Annie, I'm confused. You have a lot of money in the household, most of which you earn. Do you feel worried about money?
Yes.
What do you worry about?
That we can't afford things, I guess.
Is there a number where you would be okay to not worry about the price of a beer?
I wish Emery would contribute more towards that type of expense. I guess that is the difference for me. He's going out and he's going on vacation, or if he's going out to eat, or he's doing all these things, it would be nice that he has to think about affording it. Like a lot of times I'm the one who has to think about, hey, can we afford this? Can you go out to Vegas with your friends? Can you go out to these bachelor parties? Could you do this? So it would be nice if he contributes that way financially, where he has to figure that out and I don't have to.
I think there's something deeper, Annie. I don't think it's $1,000 that Emery needed 4 years ago. That's meaningless. What's really going on here?
He consistently need new equipment a lot of times. He had a drone and we need to get a drone. The drone flew away into the river. We now have to replace the drone.
How much?
I mean, that's like a couple hundred, but it's just those little things, I guess, bigger things that add up.
Annie, you're making my point for me.
What's your point?
Number one, why doesn't he have his own individual guilt-free spending money? And number two, why are we talking about $200 expenses when you make $223,000 a year?
You see what I told you? Nothing is ever enough. This woman brings home a lot more money than her husband does or her boyfriend does each month. But yet she's hounding him over a $5 bill and a $200 drone. I actually agree with her on some points. Like, yeah, like I want you to eventually, maybe you can eventually, have your business be more lucrative. But if he can't get to that point, if he isn't at that point, why do you have such an issue as a woman with stepping up to the plate and paying for the stuff? Why do you have an issue with the male role, but yet you have no problem if the man will come into the picture and he has all the money and he's spending all his financial resources on you, the children, on your guilt-free spending, whatever. The double standards, it's the double standards for me. We're not going to watch this full clip. I'm going to play like probably a few more seconds, but what I want to say is I have trauma dealing with women, is particularly being raised again by a single mom who was very bossy, told me how to dress, told me how to wear my hair, told me how to sit. She controlled everything. And when I could not bring home financial resources, we were just treated like crap. And I understand sometimes women, they want to get away from abusive men, abusive relationships, so they do what they can to do that. But if you're with a good guy and he's not treating you poorly, why is money such a big factor to you? Why are people's value tied into how much money they make? And that is my biggest thing, is like, because I was raised by a woman like that, I have to try every single day to ignore what she taught me, to ignore the notion or the idea that people who don't make more money than me or who make less than me are nothing. Like, their value, they have no value. I have to ignore that. And I had to learn a different way of moving throughout the world, to be married, to have a husband, to be successful with relationships. Because people like her, women who think like this, they are chronically single, and they are single for a reason. They call it settling, but it's just life. People are not always going to have money. Men are not always going to have money. They're going to fall on good times and hard times. That's just part of life. And they just don't get it. I'm going to play a few more seconds so we can hear her excuse, and then we'll go from there.
I mean, our guilt-free spending is only, 3,000? I don't even remember.
Per month.
Per month. Yes.
If he takes 20% of that or $600 a month, he could do whatever he wants with that, right? He should be getting his own drone.
I agree.
Okay. What's stopping the two of you from setting that up?
We just never got around to it.
Can I just ask a question? Like, if the roles were reversed and Emery was earning $180,000 a year, and Annie, you were earning far less, you were starting up a business, what kind of conversation would we be having right now?
I don't know. I can't imagine myself in that scenario.
Stop the cap, stop the delusion, stop the idiocracy. You know what kind of situation it would be. And I'm glad that Ramit, the host, has flipped the script on her and asked her some real hard questions, because she knows what the answer would be. His money would be their money. Her money would be her money to do whatever she wants with it. And he would just have to deal with it, figure it out, pay all the bills, and, give her guilt-free spending money. But she has such a huge issue, setting aside $600 a month for this man, the man that she claims to love, her partner, to have to spend. Like, I'm done with this, but I just want to leave you guys with this. Once again, I do not envy straight men. As a gay man, I've had, interactions when I was single with the man who was bisexual and considering, dating guys or whatnot. He didn't choose me. He didn't choose me. He chose to, dip and dabble with the woman, but yet he kept complaining about women. It's like, as a openly gay man, I will no longer allow a straight man to sit up and complain to me about women. I don't care anymore. Like, if I was single, if you're not giving me what I want as a gay man, I'm not entertaining you. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to sit there and have long conversations with you. No, go do that with the girls that you like so much. One of your girls, go, do it with one of your girls, not with me. Because if I'm not getting what I want, what everybody else is, the woman's getting what she wants, the DL bisexual dude's getting what he wants. If I'm not, as an openly gay man, getting what I want, we have nothing to talk about. So I'm going to end the video here. It's just, I feel bad. I feel bad for the state of the average man and how poorly they're treated. And we wonder why they have no ambition, why they have no drive, why they're making, less money than women. It's because, like, we don't make space for them to just be valuable as human beings. It's like, it's all about what you make and what you bring to the table. Then you are valuable. But women, they are born with value. They have intrinsic value. And I think society should not operate that way. All people have value. All people should be treated equally. Nobody in 2024 should have the expectation of a man coming into your life and paying all the bills. We all want that. We all want a husband like that. You're not getting it, boo. What you got in between your legs is not that good, boo. Like, it's not working. It's not working. So kudos to the men for going their own way. That's all I got for you guys today. Wolf is back, full pack. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.